Not able to see a screen.
We can't see your screen.
We are not able to view the screen.
Now,
Yes.
okay. So these are all DevOps periodic table. Okay. So we have so many categories in DevOps. Okay, like source control management, database automation, continuous integration, testing, configuration, deployment. So like this, we have so many categories. So in this, we are going to see this one, that is configuration management tool. Okay, so if I keep my cursor here, you are seeing some tools, right? So these are all most widely used configuration management tool. Okay, so what is configuration management tool means? Um the configuration management tool, see, for running one application you require one environment, right? That environment we are going to install and we are going to configure using these tools. Okay, so in market, if in market, right, the most widely used configuration tool is Ansible, Puppet and Chef, right? So then you can ask me like why we are teaching here Ansible rather than Chef and Puppet. So for one sec. So why we are taking Ansible rather than Chef and Puppet means, for learning Chef and Puppet, you require some extra scripting knowledge, might be Groovy scripting or Ruby scripting and all. But to work with Ansible, if you have some basic knowledge in Unix, then you are good to work with Ansible. Okay, so already we are in class, we are going to learn 8 tools, one shell scripting, and in project you are going to learn 3 more extra tools. So like level DevOps tools, one Python scripting, and if I teach you one more scripting, that will be too burden to you, right? So that's what we are learning, we are teaching Ansible. And up to our knowledge, Ansible is most widely used DevOps tools. Okay, so here you're learning these tools, right? Git, Jenkins, Docker, Ansible, Terraform, AppD, Splunk, Salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, done. Then you are adding Python. Correct? Then Linux basics. And in project, you will learn SonarQube, then Nexus, Maven, Tomcat. So these are all tools you will learn here, right? So Docker, Ansible, Terraform, these 3 tools are right. So you should not prepare any resumes without these 3 tools, right? If this 3 tools are very important tool in DevOps market. So if you are not specifying these 3 tools, then you won't get calls. Okay, so always be prepared with these 3 tools. Okay, and all these 3 tools are completely CLI based, that is command line prompt tools. So it's not like your Jenkins, it's not like your AppD, it's not like your Splunk. It's completely CLI based tool. So, but still, company people, that is recruiter, will look for these 3 tools in your resume. If you specify these 3 tools in your resume only, you will get calls. Okay.
What three tools? Can you please repeat the list again?
Huh?
Can you please list the three tools again?
No, I didn't get you.
Can you name the three tools again?
Docker, Ansible, and Terraform. Okay. Now we are going to see Ansible. Again, Ansible is configuration management tool. Using this tool, we are going to configure one environment to run one application. Okay, fine. So for Ansible, Chef and Puppet. Okay, for Ansible, Chef and Puppet are competitors. Okay, so if you are after this DevOps course, right? If you look for any job opportunities, in job description, you will find uh, like experience or knowledge in Ansible / Chef / Puppet. Okay, so get good knowledge in Ansible. It is little bit hard, I can understand, but still you have to work in Ansible. Okay, fine. Now, so guess everyone knows master slaves configuration. Okay, so this is master and these are all slaves. That is, your slaves machine is controlled by master, right? So might be you would have studied in Jenkins. If you have attended Jenkins class, Karthik would have told you master slave, or if you have attended Salt Stack, Sharvant would have told you about this one, right? So this is those who have not attended these two tools, nothing to worry here. This is your master and these are all your slaves. Okay, that is all these slaves will be controlled by your master. In our schooling days, we must have studied parent-child concept, right? Parent-child. So here in DevOps, we will call parent as master, child as slaves. That's it. In simple layman words, I'm just telling you. Okay. So in configuration management tool, we have two mechanisms. One is push mechanism, another one is pull mechanism. So what is push mechanism is normal English meaning. You will just log in into the master machine. From master machine, you will push all your configuration to your slaves machine. That is push mechanism. Whereas in pull mechanism, you will just log in into your slaves machine. From slave machine, you will just pull all your updated configuration from master machine. Just pull. Okay, normal English meaning push, pull. Push is from master to slave, pull is from slaves to master. Okay, so in this, Ansible will comes under push mechanism. Chef and Puppet will comes under pull mechanism. We will see Salt Stack, which will do both. That is, it will do both. It will do both push mechanism and pull mechanism. Fine. Now, in Ansible,
Damo, one thing. Push means master to slave. The request will be the things will be pushed. Kamal here.
From which branch?
Damo, Kamal here. Kamal.
No, from which branch? Branch.
See, Sipcot, Navalur.
Yes, tell me, Kamal.
Push means master to slave. The things will be pushed, and pull means master will pull the things from slave, right?
See, push, normally you will log in into the master machine. From master machine, you will push to slaves, whereas pull from slaves to master. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'll open one no, doubt session. In that we will discuss. Okay, because I don't want to disturb others sync as well. Okay, I'll open one doubt session. Okay, fine. Now see here in Ansible, we will call master as control node, slave as manage node. Okay, master as control node, slave as manage node. Okay, fine. So again, Ansible will come under push mechanism. Okay, it is one of the configuration management tool and it is most popular management tool. Here in Ansible, we will call master as control machine, slave as manage node machine. Fine. And these are, as I said, these are all DevOps tools. Not only these are all DevOps tools, we have so many DevOps tools, but these are all most widely used DevOps tools. So if you ask me, okay, so if you ask me like which DevOps tools has very good documentation, I will say it is Ansible. So Ansible has very good documentation compared to other tools. Just go to Google and just type docs.ansible.com. Okay, so this is documentation page for Ansible. Here you can find A to Z of Ansible, that is from beginning to advanced level. You can find everything in Ansible. So my kind suggestion is, as we are into beginner level, try to focus any one tutor. Don't go for any YouTubes or any blogs right away. Why? Because whatever tools we are going to learn, it is completely open source tools. Open source tool, and on each basis, on each OS basis, the way of working and the way of installation will be different, right? Suppose if you are working for Jenkins, if you want to work with Ubuntu, you will run some different command. For Linux, you will run different commands, right? So that's what. If you're good in Unix, if you go through all YouTube videos, you will understand. But still, if you're not good in Unix, then you will get confused. So till you are getting some knowledge in Ansible or whatever DevOps tools, just try to focus with any one tutor. Then to upgrade yourself, you can go for other YouTubes, other blogs and all. Okay.
Damu, hello.
Yes.
Damu, Subha here. Your voice is breaking sometimes, Damu.
Ah, really? I have hacked FiberNet, so not sure.
Hello.
Yes. Now it is audible. Now.
Hello.
I guess might be from your end.
I think she has problem. We are able to hear you.
Yes, Damu, we can hear you properly.
Yes, might be from your end because I have hacked FiberNet, so I have good bandwidth as well. Okay, fine. See, listen everything very carefully. Again and again, I'm saying Ansible, Docker, and Terraform is very important tool in DevOps. Whatever tools I'm learning, so just go through it, and any doubts you can ask me, but not now. I'll open one questionnaire session. We'll discuss on this. Okay. First installation. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Ansible. So installation. Okay. So as I said, for each OS, they have given separate steps, like for Ubuntu, for Red Hat, for CentOS, for Mac OS, for Solaris, for Arch Linux, for Clear Linux, for pip. For all this, they have given different steps. Okay. So as I said, for each OS, the way of installation will be different. The way you can, in each OS also, you can install one particular tool in different ways. Okay, fine. Now, this might be your interview question. What is the requirement for working with Ansible? Control node, as I said, control node is master node. So go ahead. The very important thing is Python 2 or Python 3 is needed. Then very important is Windows is not supported for your control node. That means from your master machine should not be a Windows based platform. Okay, and you require Python 2 or Python 3. And what is managed node is, for managed node requirement is normal SSH connection should be there. Then your managed node also should have Python 2 or Python 3. Okay, why they are asking Python 2 in both the machine means Ansible is Python based configuration tool. So you require Python in all your machines. Okay, then second point is Ansible is agentless tool. What is agentless tool means? If you install Ansible only in control machine, that is fine. Okay, you don't want, it is not mandatory that you have to install Ansible in managed node machine. If you install Ansible only in control machine, that is fine. Okay, but all this machine requires Python. Clear with this? Fine. Now, so once after this class, you have to install some tools. Might be you would have installed PuttyGen. I guess both you must have installed before itself. Third is Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here based upon your OS, just install your Visual Studio Code. Okay, whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit, based upon your laptop bit, you just install it. Visual Studio Code it is same like your Notepad++ or Notepad. It is just a text editor. Okay, so my recommendation is to use Visual Studio Code because this will help us a lot, and this is from Microsoft. Okay, and next one is Pagent. Okay, Pagent. Just go here, Pagent. Search for Pagent here. Based upon your bit, just install your Pagent tool. Okay, I'll say what is the purpose of Pagent later. So you have to install 4 tools: PuttyGen, Pagent, Visual Studio Code. Okay, fine. Now, as I said, for each OS, the way of installation will be different. Okay, these are all different ways to install Ansible on each OS. Okay, now in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this step, that is installing Ansible with pip. What is pip? Pip is Python Package Manager. Okay, so I'm going to install Ansible using pip. I'll say why I'm using this pip later, but right now I'm just going to install Ansible using pip. Fine. So just open your console. Fine. So this is your AWS console EC2. So I'm going to install Ansible in AWS EC2 Linux machine using pip. What is pip? Pip is Python package manager. So just go here. Okay, so here I'm just going to use this machine. So this and all you are familiar steps, so I don't want to explain all this. Okay, so here I'll go for 4 machine. Why? Because 1 master, 3 slaves, and I have just choose Linux machine. Why? Because your master machine should not be an Windows based machine. Okay, then in AWS we will call it as user data. I guess 94 people are there. So all these 94 people are from AWS, I guess, right? So you know what is user data. So user data is something here you can specify to AWS what needs to be installed while launching your instance, right? Okay, so user data is something you can tell to AWS what needs to be installed while launching your instance. Okay, so here I'm just specifying some script. I'll first write the script and I'll explain you. So this is script. Okay, so whenever you are writing some shell script, this will be your first line. That is, you are asking to open one bash script. Then yum means yum is the Linux default package manager install, and you require Python in your all machine. That's what I'm installing Python. And as I said, I'm going to install Ansible using pip. So I'm installing pip -y is yes, pip install Ansible. Okay, so this is the script. Just note down the script. What if I specify this script in user data, what will happen means in my all 4 machines, Python will be installed, pip will be installed, Ansible will be installed so that I can minimize some manual steps. But as I said, it is not mandatory to install Ansible in all the 4 machines. If you install Ansible only in control machine, that is fine. But still, we are learning DevOps for doing to minimize some manual steps. That's what I'm just giving you one more extra tips. That's it. Okay, don't ask me doubts that why you are installing all. Just to minimize the steps. And to be frank, I'm little bit lazy. I don't want to install Python in all my manually. I don't want to install Python manually in all my managed machines. Fine. So these are all regular steps. So here I'll make one as my control machine. Remaining 3 will be my slaves machine. Okay. So let's wait. Then okay. Now I told you about page end, right? See here, we are working with some limited amount of machines. So you know what is the respective PIM file, what is respective PPK file. Then you will log in into the PuTTY. You will install PPK file or PIM file, right? But just think that you are working in one real-time environment. Okay, I'll take my environment itself as an example. So in my environment, I have 1,500 machines. Okay, for 40 to 50 PIM file, 40 to 50 PPK file. So every time I cannot load my respective PIM file or PPK file in PuTTY. So instead of that, what I will do is I will install Pageant. Okay, and I will load all my project PPK file in that Pageant, and I will tell to PuTTY take your respective PIM file or PPK file from Pageant. Okay, so Pageant is central repository to store your PPK file. Fine. So just your Pageant will look will looks like this. Then you will see here. Click here, add key, then load your PPK file. So you can load n number like 5 to 10, 15 PPK file as well. Okay. Then from here on, I'm just going to do all the activity from my control machine, and all the activities will be done only in slave machine because Ansible is push mechanism. So note down your control machine IP, open your PuTTY, copy here. So usually you will load your PPK file here, right? Now just tell to PuTTY take your respective PPK file from Pageant. That's it. Then EC2-user Ansible hyphen version. So you have installed Ansible. Ansible version is 2.9.7. Okay. Ansible's latest version is, why I'm saying this means in might be in interview they will ask you, that's what. Ansible latest version is 2.9. So we are also working with the latest version. Okay. And here, if you see here, Python version is 2.7.16. That is it is older version. The latest version is 3.8. But as per the documentation, if you have Python 2.7, then you are fine to work with Ansible. So I have Python 2.7 as well. So everything is done. Fine. Now, see here, these two are important files or important directory, you can say. Okay. So these are all default path for Ansible. So first one is, this file is inventory file. We will call it as inventory file. What is inventory file means? Inventory file will contains IP of your slaves machine. Okay, IP or host name you can say of your slaves machine. Whereas ansible.cfg file, it is the configuration file for your Ansible. Okay, so these two are important file for Ansible. What your inventory file will contain? Inventory file will contain IPs of your slaves machine. Fine. Okay. So now, okay, now you got your inventory file and you got your configuration file. These are two are important files for your Ansible. Okay. Now, just note down this or listen this carefully. I have installed Python. I have installed Ansible using pip, right? When you install Ansible using pip, this file or this directory won't be created automatically. So we have to configure inventory file. We have to configure our configuration file manually. Okay. But when you install Ansible in other ways means these are all other ways, right? Except pip. If you install in other ways, you will get this default path or default file. But when you install Ansible using pip, you have to configure it manually. Okay. So that's what, suppose in your real time, if someone asks you to install Ansible using pip, then you should not be in embarrassing situation. That's what I am teaching here, Ansible using pip. But when you install Ansible in other ways, might be Ubuntu, might be Sun Solaris, might be Arch Linux, might be RHEL, might be CentOS, then you will get these files, you will get this directory automatically. Okay, because these are all default path. Okay, so how to install Ansible in Ubuntu? If you go to here Ubuntu, just if you run this command, you are done. Okay, so everything will be there in docs.ansible.com. Suppose if you want to Ansible in Red Hat, just go to here, just run this command. Your installation in Red Hat will be done. Okay. So now we have to create this inventory file. We have to create this configuration file manually. So, okay. So how many people are not good in Unix here? All slept or what? So, or I can consider like everyone is good in Unix. Okay, there is no response, so I'll.
No.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we have posted in the chat window. We are not comfortable on Linux.
Okay. So some here I am seeing everyone is learning. So you know, if you are in learning stage, that is fine. Okay. So my video is using recording or what? Because I don't see recording option here, but here it is. I'm getting like past recording, stop recording.
It's recording on.
It's recording.
But here it is not showing me. That's what. Fine. Okay, fine. Now I'm just going to create this inventory file. I'm just going to create this configuration file. Okay. So vi is the Unix command to create your text file. So I'll create like slaves.txt. So this slaves.txt is going to be my inventory file. Okay. So escape I, as I said, in inventory file, you have to configure your slave machine IPs, right? So just go to your AWS console and give your IPs of your slaves machine. And here I'm just giving you the private IP. Why? Because as everyone is aware that in AWS they will give you only dynamic IP. So when you restart your instance, this IP will be changed if you use public IP. That's what here I'm just using private IP. Okay. Save this file. So your inventory file is ready. Now your configuration file. So here example file for Ansible.cfg. Just copy this URL, and there is one Unix command called wget. Wget is something if you want to download something from one URL. That's it. Hey, 100% sure, right? Yeah, because I'm not seeing a recording option. So as you guys are saying, so I'll take it up. Okay. Ansible.txt file. This is your inventory file. This is your configuration file. Now, so far we have just done the Ansible setup alone. Any doubts in this? You can ask me doubts.
Damu, what you did for the second one, Ansible.cfg?
Ansible.cfg is configuration file for Ansible. Like if you like it is backend file, you can say for Ansible, like how to work Ansible. So based upon this file only it will work. Configuration file means you know, right?
Can you
Yes,
share
yes.
that link, Tamu? The file where you.
I told you, right, why I'm going for PIP.
Yes, okay. Okay, Tamu. And whether the IP address you saved in slaves.txt, right? Is the name is fixed? I mean, it is mandatory to keep the name as slaves.txt, or we can keep any name for that.
You
Right?
can keep any name. You can keep any name. Okay.
And I have one more doubt, Tamu.
Ah.
Actually, we have seen SaltStack, right? If in interview, if someone asks what is the advantage of Ansible over SaltStack, what can we say?
See, actually, SaltStack is very less used configuration management tool, to be frank. But why we are teaching here SaltStack is to know about pull mechanism. That's what. We can go with Chef and Puppet as well. I know Chef. We can even teach Chef as well. But the thing is, to learn to work with Chef, you need extra scripting, as I said. So we don't want you trouble you more. So that's what we are not teaching Salt. Why? What is the advantages? There is no much advantage and all. Okay. So whatever your Ansible is doing, same your Salt Stack can do, same your Chef can do, same your Puppet can do. Okay. So it depends. It depends upon your architect team. To be frank, okay. Why we are using Ansible is see to work with for example Chef and Puppet and all. Many you need, as I said, you need scripting. Some people, even me, I don't like scripting. That's all I will prefer. So even to be frank, I know very little Python only. I hate scripting. So everything I will do it. If I need to do some automation, I'll do via Ansible. Okay. It depends upon your it depends upon your not it depends upon your
Organization.
right. Some people see for in biryani, some people like to cook with basmati rice, some people with siraga samba, some people with normal rice, some Kerala people will do it in different state, right? But I don't like to eat in Kerala state, right? It depends again. Same here, whatever your chef is going to do, chef, same your puppet can do, same your Ansible can do. Again, it depends. Okay. I'm just saying that based upon average, if you see any job opportunities, I'm saying average only. Okay. In average, Ansible is most widely used to. That's what I'm just telling you. Fine.
Yeah, fine. Thanks.
There is no big advantage and all. If you go for Ansible, you can you have so many advantages. Not like this and all. There is no advantage between Ansible, Chef, and Puppet and all. If someone says Ansible, might be, see, I am not I am not that much familiar with Puppet, right? If you ask me whether Ansible is good, Puppet is good, what will be my answer? My answer will be Ansible because I know only Ansible, right? If someone is familiar with Puppet, if you ask which is very good, whether Puppet or Ansible, he will say Puppet. Why? Because he has worked only with Puppet. Same. Okay. Fine. Fine. Shakti, right? Okay. Any other doubts? I can go for next. Hello.
Yes, clear.
Okay. 91 people
Yes,
are
clear.
there. Yeah. 91 people are there, but still not much doubts. Very good. So I'll take it as this. Everyone understood till this. Fine. Super. Okay. Next is
Damu, sorry for the interruption. This is
Kamal.
Vijay.
Kamal and sorry, Vijay, one sec. Kamal, you are from, I forgot you. Yeah. You are from Siriseri, right? I forgotten your name. Due to Corona, my everything is got collapsed. Sorry. Yes, Vijay.
Okay.
Vijay?
Yeah, Damu, just a question here. So
No,
Jenkins,
that I can visualize that you are asking something because it is very, I'm getting bored to see this laptop screen itself.
yeah, okay. So the Jenkins is also a deployer, right?
Correct.
Does the deploy task. So how it differs between Jenkins and Ansible?
No, Jenkins is totally different. Jenkins is configuration, that is, it is continuous integration tool. So whatever tool you are learning, you are going to integrate via Jenkins. You are not going to configure anything via Jenkins, right? You are not going to configure EC2 or something via Jenkins, right or not? Or Karthik has taught you that as well. Because
No, it's CI and CD, right? So that's
yeah,
what I am asking.
yeah, no, see, CI, Jenkins is for CI, right? Continuous integration. This is configuration management tool. That is to deploy some application, right? See, in your server, right? If you are logging into the one server, what and all you can do manually, that and all you can do via Ansible. That is, you can create users, you can create files, you can install some software, you can start some software, you can do deployments, all. That is continuous integration. You will integrate everything via Jenkins. Understood or not?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll go for next steps. Okay, so here we are going to see 4 topics. One is ad hoc commands. Second one is playbooks. Third one is roles. Fourth one is vault. So these are all 4 topics we are going to see in Ansible. One is ad hoc commands, another one is playbooks, third one is roles, fourth one is vault. Okay, so what is ad hoc commands? Okay, ad hoc commands is, suppose I need to perform single task or single activity, then you can go for ad hoc commands. Like, I need to install one Apache software, or I need to create one user called Damo. So these are all single activity, right? If you are going for, if you want to perform single activity or single task, then you will go for ad hoc commands. Playbooks. What is playbooks means? Playbooks is, if I want to perform multiple activity or multiple tasks at a stretch, then you can go for playbooks. Playbooks will be in .yaml format, that is in YAML format. Okay, so YAML, it is ain't markup language. Again, it is like your many people have seen Vodafone ad. It's like Vodafone doc. So YAML will come behind you if you are into DevOps. Okay. What is roles? I'll tell this roles later. What is Vault? Might be in your phone, you would have installed Vault app where you can hide your photos, where you can hide your messages, contacts and all. Same, Vault is, suppose if you want to protect something, you will go for Ansible Vault. Understood? Fine. Okay. So today, today we will go for ad hoc commands. That is, we are going to perform single activity. That is single activity. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. So first command is, so from here on, I'm going to perform only commands. I'll first write down the commands, then I'll explain it.
Damu, this one you are doing in the control node, na?
Everything from my control machine, I'm not going to do, or I'm not going to log in itself to my slaves machine, but all this activity will be done in my slaves machine only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. See here, what this command will do means, I guess everyone knows what is the purpose of ping. Ping is to test some connection, right? For example, if I want to know whether I am able, whether I have internet connection, then I'll go here, ping google.com. So if you are able to get this, that means okay, actually you should get here. Okay, that means you are able to connect the, that means you are able, that is, you have internet connection, right? Same here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to test whether I'm able to connect my slaves machine from my master machine. That's what I'm using ping. Okay. Now Ansible is Ansible command. All is go and check in all my slaves machine, whichever I have mentioned in my inventory file. -I is your inventory file. This is your inventory file. -M is module. Which module I'm using? Ping module. So you are just checking whether you are able to connect to your slaves machine or not. Okay. So this is AWS concept. Whenever you are connecting to your private, whenever you are connecting to the IP, you will get like this. When you do SSH, right, you will get like this. If you have worked with VPC in Linux, you will see this, right? Now see here, you have to give yes. You have to give yes, right? So now you are working with only 2 to 3 machines. So you will give yes, right? But just think that you are going to work for some 20 to 30 machines. So every time you cannot give yes, 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 yes. Then there is no automation at all. So what I am going to do is, I am just going to open my configuration file. In configuration file here, in this, if this hash is there means this is commented. What is commented means? Commented is, if you have commented means that line is not readable or not executable. So I'm just removing this commented symbol. Then I am just changing true to false. And I'm saving this file. Why I'm doing? To avoid this SSH checking. Now, if I run this command, you are able to ping. Okay. And why you are getting this warning means because you are using Python 2.7, which is lower version. That's what you are getting this warning. So warning is not very important to be considered. So if you are able to connect to this machine, that means you are done. Clear? Now, second command is uname-a. What is uname-a is? Suppose you after this training you got placed in some organization, and you should not go and ask to your teammates what OS you are using. Okay, just log into the instance. Just give uname-a. You are able to find which OS we are using. We are using Linux x86 bit, right? Now same information I need to get for my slaves machine as well. Then how I can do is Ansible all -i slaves.txt -a uname -a. I will explain this command. Ansible is Ansible command. All go and perform this activity in all my slaves machine. -i is your inventory file. This is your inventory file. -a is argument. What is argument is, or when I need to use -a is, whenever you are running some Unix command, or whenever you are requesting to Ansible, or whenever you are commanding to Ansible that please do this for me, right? Then you have to use -a. Okay, so now you got other OS details. So like this, you can perform all your Unix command. And one more Unix command is uptime. What is uptime means? When your OS has been rebooted. So my OS has been started up at before 28 minutes. Okay, this is the command OS Unix command. This Unix command will give you details regarding your OS boot up time. Okay, now I want to know for my slaves machine. Same Ansible all -i slaves.txt -a. I said whenever you are performing some Unix command, or you are requesting to Ansible, or you are commanding to Ansible, then you have to use -a. -a is action uptime. Okay, so before 29 minutes back, my OS has been started. Okay, clear? So next is Okay. Next is, now just consider that you have 6 machines. Okay, 6 machines or 6 IPs or whatever it is. Okay. Now your manager or your team lead is calling you and they are asking you to install in 2 machine you have to install web server, in 2 machine you have to install app server, in 2 machine you have to install database. Then how to perform this activity means, just so like this. Okay, so this we will call it as tagging. This we will call it as tagging. Suppose if I call web, only 1 2 is considered. If I call app, only 3 4 is considered. If I call database DB, only 5 6 is considered. This we will call it as grouping. Okay, for example, I'm just opening my inventory file. Why? Because in this inventory file only I have my slaves machine details. Now I'll make it as greens. Okay, greens. I'm just adding one tag called greens. Now Ansible greens -i slaves.txt -m ping. What this will do means, only in 2 IPs it will go and hit 193 and 199. Why? Because I'm just calling this tag name. This we will call it as grouping or tagging or something. Okay. Any doubts in this? So whatever we have seen. Any doubts? I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Guhan. I'll tell you. Any doubts? No doubts?
Okay. Fine.
Hello, Damu.
Hello.
Damu, this is Kamalakanan from DLF team.
Yes, tell me.
Actually, actually, I have a small query. Actually, we have some that slave.txt file, right? Inventory file. So actually, we have only few members of system. Suppose we have a number of system. Suddenly, our company decided to create another new team. So that time, people will hire for 50 members. So that time we cannot able to get all the IPs into the inventory file, right? Is there any chance to do any automation for that?
No, I didn't get your question.
Actually, we have existing team as Ansible we have existing. Actually, we already have 100 members of team. So suddenly company actually decide to hire another 50 members. So suppose if hire members, 50 members will come means the 50 members of IP address we need to get and put it into a inventory file. Is there any chance to automation that
Why you need
to avoid those things?
Why you need members details? Because this is instance level, right?
Yeah, instance whatever. If suppose you are creating 20 system, 20 instance, or is
If
two
I'm not wrong, you are asking in different sense, I guess. If I'm not wrong, I'll explain your question. Whether just today you are having 50 machines, next day you are having 100 machines, then how to how to execute this alarm commands, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Okay. I'll talk.
Yes,
about,
yes.
I'll talk about this next after some time. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. So not no doubts, right? Okay. Now I'm just opening my slaves machine again. and I'll make another tag as greens 1. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Apache in one of my slaves machine using adopt commands. Okay. Okay. So how to do it is Ansible Ansible greens 1, because in only one command. Normally how you will install Apache? Yum install httpd-y, right? This is the yum install httpd, right? So this is the command to install Apache. Now Ansible greens-i saves.txt. I'll write down the command, then I'll explain you. Ansible is Ansible command. Greens 1 is that one particular tag I'm using. -i is your inventory file. Slaves.txt is your inventory file. -m is module. I'm just using yum module. Yum module is Ansible module. That's all I'm using yum. -a is argument. I'm just saying name is equal to STTPD. STTPD is package name. Apache package name. State is equal to present. Present means install. Absent means uninstall. Started means started. Stop means stop. Restarted means restart. Okay. I am just running this command. So you need to be root to perform this command. Same, right? When you install Apache, you will give sudo command or you'll switch to root user, right? So in Ansible, I'm just giving -b. -b is you are giving sudo access. Become. You are giving sudo access. That's it. You have installed Apache using this command. Okay. Now I need to start Apache. Okay. Just tell me how to do it. Just put it in chat. Those who have attended this session, please don't reply. Others who are all attending first time, right? Just tell me how to start Apache. Just put it in chat. No, I'm saying it in Apache. So I'm not telling you in how to start it in Apache, not in normal command using Ansible.
Sorry sir, interrupting Abhishek here, sir. That state equal to running it should be, right?
No, actually I need to start it.
Okay. That state equal to start.
State is equal to started.
See here, very simple. Ansible greens 1 -i slaves.txt -m. Here for starting you are giving yum command, but for starting how you will start? Service httpd start, correct? So you have to use service -a, name is equal to httpd, date is equal to started, then -b for root access. -b is become. Now you have started Apache. Understood? Okay. Okay, so this is the way to start your Apache. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to create one user Damo in all my 3 machines. Ansible all -i slaves.txt -m user -a name is equal to Damo password is equal to Damo123 -b for root permission. Otherwise, you'll get permission issues. Then Damo user is created in all 3 machines. Again, Ansible is Ansible command. All is in all my machine. -i is your inventory file. This is your inventory file. -m is your module. Which module? User module. -a argument name is equal to Damo password Damo123. Okay. -b is root permission. So same like this, you can create n number of users. Fine. Now last attack command is, you have this text file here. Okay, you have this text file here. This file I need to copy in my all my slaves machine. How to move the file or how to copy the file? Ansible all -i slaves.txt -m copy -a src is source dot is your current directory. In current directory you have slaves.txt file. Destination, I am just moving into into the temp folder. I guess some birds is also joined my class, I guess. Ansible all -i is your inventory file -m copy -a inventory file. Sorry, Ansible is Ansible command. All go and hit in all my slaves machine. -i is your inventory file. This is your inventory file. -m is module, copy module. -a src is source. Dot is current directory. In current directory you will have slaves.txt file that should be moved to destination to the temp folder of my slaves machine as slaves.txt. Done. So these are all attack commands we have seen.
Damu, 1 second. Damu?
Tell me. Gayatri, right?
Yes, Damu. Actually, slaves.txt is inside Ansible directory, so you are giving as it has a /slaves.txt. If I want to move some other file in some other location, means how do I do that?
Then you have to give the complete path. For example, /home /ec2 -user like this.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, again, those who are attending for first time has to answer. Now, I didn't give this -i slaves.txt. That is, I am just removing this -i slaves.txt. What will happen? How Ansible will work?
It has destination slave.txt.
Huh?
It has destinations mentioned there.
No, you can put in
Anyway,
It will only it will copy the file in own in own path only. It will not go to the slaves. It will not get the slaves IDs. That's why.
No. You can no. That's not an answer.
In the command at the end, you have destination machine, DEST.
Copy on slaves. Yes, it won't copy on slaves, but where Ansible will go and check your inventory file?
We have inventory location. We have the host inside the host directory.
I think it is second configuration file.
What it will do is, if you are not specifying -i slaves.txt, what will happen means Ansible will go and check in the default path. What is the default path? etc Ansible host file, right? This path. As we don't have that path, what you will get? The error, no inventory was passed. Understood? If you are not specifying -i, Ansible will go and check in your default path itself. Understood or not? Afrin, understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, here Ansible will work only with the default user, that is EC2 user. You should not perform this activity with root user. Then you have to tell to Ansible use particular, for example, then -u root, you have to it won't work, right? You have to tell to Ansible that you go, if you want to perform in another user, then you have to tell to Ansible. So always perform your commands with your default user. Okay, fine. Okay, now your activity is you have to install Ansible in Ubuntu machine. Perform this activity. Why? Because in real time we will use Ubuntu or EC2 Linux. Already I taught you how to do it in EC2 Linux. Do it in Ubuntu. Then you should not install Ansible using Ubuntu commands. Ubuntu commands. Install Ansible with the Ubuntu commands. You should not install Ansible using pip. So perform all ad hoc commands without using -i flag. Why? Because if you are installing Ansible using Ubuntu commands, then you will get your inventory file, right? So you should not use -i flag. Then create one directory in your slaves machine. Fine. These three are your tasks. Okay. Again, you can learn Ansible only if you practice. If you are not practicing, then you won't understand anything. Okay. So practice this and let me know. So any doubts in today's session?
So Karthik, any other machines also the ad hoc commands means it will start with Ansible with only, na? If any command starts with Ansible, then it will be ad hoc command.
So if you want to run one single activity, then ad hoc command.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Done. Okay. So how is Ansible so far?
Till now, okay, not difficult.
It is not difficult.
Till now, not difficult.
Right. Okay. Looks easy. Really? Vanilla, you use same words after my day 2 class. Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
sure, Dhamma.
Okay, but still, right? Ansible is very important tool if you are working in as an infrastructure guy. Okay, what are the real? Whatever I told, that are all real commands only, right? I didn't use any fake commands. So you are for see, just go here. If you want still more commands, just go here. Ad hoc, ad hoc commands in Ansible. See, don't go for any blogs. Always prefer docs.ansible.com, and you can find here. Okay. So mostly I have covered. Anyway, if you still you want more, you can check it. Okay. So I think from this, it's gone till 17,000. I guess we have to be in lockdown till June. Okay. Again, here 83 people are there, right? See, right now the openings are lot. Okay, daily I'm getting more calls for DevOps. So this is the right time to look for some opportunities, and those who have covered somewhat, right, try to focus on interview perspective. Okay, focus and you can get very good package. Okay, so right time to hunt for jobs. Okay, fine. Okay, let's meet on Wednesday. Same like 11 o'clock. Might be Kartika shared you one link, right? We have shared for all 3 sessions. Okay, we'll meet on next Wednesday. Okay, practice today's session. If you are not practicing, at least go through this video. If you are not go through this video or not practicing and you are coming on Wednesday, 100% you will watch like you as if you are watching one Korean movie. Okay, fine. So go through it, and any doubts you can ping me. Fine, and do my task. Whatever task I'm giving, it is completely interview oriented questions. So then it's up to you. Okay, bye. So I'll close today's session. Thank you.
The recordings will be uploaded to any share points.
No, actually, see here how you might be. I guess you don't know it. See, okay, here just go here. DevOps training in Chennai. Go to our institute. Here you will get it. Fine. So here already you have Git notes, Git's recording, Docker 3 recordings, right? Same you will get for Ansible. Okay. Because if we store in S3, right? Already I don't know when this. Some people are asking why we are doing this way. Here already this account. We don't know when this account is going to suspend. So we don't know when this account will get suspended, okay? Because now it has crossed more than 10-15,000. So that's what, to be in safer side, we are just uploading it, so that it should not affect others learning as well. That's what we are uploading here. Okay. So once after that, you just go to Google DevOps training in Chennai. Go to our website. Here you will find. Clear? Okay.
Sure, Damu.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll meet on next or this coming Wednesday. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.